Is this thing on? Hello, everyone. Welcome to. Okay. Wait. Wait. Last one. Hello, everyone. Welcome to No Filter Necessary with your host, Charles Malaga. Welcome to my first podcast ever. I'm so happy to be here. I've been wanting to do this for so long. Ever since podcasts started becoming popular, I've been wanting to do this. And almost everyone that's close to me in my life has said you would be great at doing that. I could talk 4 hours, especially with my besties. And I just want that to kind of be our relationship. And I want you guys to be able to be connected and hear from my network of guests that I will be bringing on this podcast. And yeah, I'm really excited. And let's get started. So this actually, let's back up. Let's just back up. I want to start with, if you guys were to know how long it took me to set all this up, you wouldn't believe me. It was literally maybe an hour and a half. This table that I have in front of me was too wide, it was too wide for the clip of this beautiful beam here. So I had to flip it. Like, if I could show you guys, it's a mess. But anyways, yeah, let's get into this first episode. So today we are talking about, as you know, the psychology behind living alone. So I've kind of done a little bit of research, but I've also done a little bit of my own personal life experience research, and that's kind of what I'm going to be speaking on today. So currently, I do live alone, and I'm very happy about it. It is definitely a blessing, but of course, it has its negatives, like everything in life. So I honestly wanted to explore all of that, teach you guys what, I've been through and how it brought me to this, and um, and what it's like living alone. If you don't live alone, I don't know. If you live alone, if you don't live alone, I still think it might be a nice episode to listen to. Disclaimer though, I am not a psychological professional whatsoever. Whatever is said today is from personal experience only. Personal experience only. Thank you. So let's talk about, sorry, I looked down at my notes, but I have my notes here. Eventually I'll have them in like a nice, cute way, but this is the first episode, so we're going to take it slow. So, segment one, the realities of living alone. So, obviously, the practical aspects of living alone, you get your freedom. You are able to do whatever you want. No one's allowed to say anything about it. And you can live in peace and not have everybody or anybody breathing down your neck, which is beautiful. So that also comes with responsibilities, as you guys know, whether it's laundry or cleaning this sofa or doing my bed or cooking, cleaning, all that shit. It becomes a lot, especially since you don't have someone that is there to do it with you and take half of those assignments or chores or whatever you want to call them. I think that might be the challenge. But if you are motivated and you stay motivated, then, you will keep it organized, keep it clean, keep it cute, after you cook, you clean, all that shit. So, yeah, and especially if you don't like your whole area dirty, because I know that I don't know if it's just me, but I don't like coming in after whatever I'm doing, whatever, wherever I am, coming back from work, coming back from school, coming back from whatever, and it's dirty and or unorganized. That makes me sad, depressed, not creative. I want to come back, turn on my Alexa, play music. Y'all know the vibes. Tell me you don't know the vibes with Alexa and living alone. Alexa and living alone equals marriage. Equals love. Marriage, love, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so those are some of those practical aspects, but let's jump into those challenges of all the responsibilities of living alone. So, what I have down here is how I said before, there's a lot of things that you have to do by yourself that you're not sharing responsibility with anybody. So, for example, groceries, you got to pay for that yourself, and there's no one to share it with. And you know how a lot of things in the grocery store are big, and I don't eat all of that stuff before it expires. Sometimes it would be nice to split with someone maybe in the future, but it would be nice to split with someone. And what else? Clean and cook by myself. I already said that. Enough, Charles. Honestly, I wrote down here, I'm always tired of cooking and cleaning after. Just to be fully real, like, I love cooking, and you can look at that all over my TikTok and my Instagram. But yeah, I love cooking, but I hate cleaning after. Because, okay, let's talk about that phenomenon real quick. You take maybe an hour, maybe not an hour, that's ridiculous, Charles. Maybe 30 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes, whatever. You're cooking a full meal, right? You take all your time cooking that whole meal, and then you have all your dishes left over, but you want to eat while the food is hot. But then while you're eating, you're stressing over all the plates and stuff that you gotta clean, but you're just trying to enjoy your food and watch Netflix. And then once you eat, you get tired, because I don't know if you guys get tired after you eat, but I do. And then you're not motivated to not cook, clean. So that's my only issue. But back on track. So yeah, you don't get to split those chores with anybody. And another challenge for some people, I guess it's a challenge for me too. You have to hold yourself accountable with all of this stuff, whether it be cleaning, especially for me. Okay, also side note, I have the worst allergies in the world. So if I'm not cleaning my space and all the dust is not off, and I'll have 5 air purifiers going on, then I might just choke up. So yeah. And I don't know, it's just like, do you want to be responsible and take care of yourself and stand on business? Or would you rather be a flop, be ugly, and not stand on business? Because the second option gets you nowhere. Just letting you know. But yeah, so I just, like I said, cook, eat, clean. And then when you come back from the gym, you can have a relaxing time. You don't stress. You don't have to stress about nothing. Like, I don't know. I have so much other stuff to do, like this podcast, work, this, that, this, that. So we don't have time for that. No, not at all. But so anyways, so with all of these challenges that we have from living alone, I want to talk about the butt situation. Although we have these challenges, you get to have your own space when your battery runs out. I love hanging out with friends and being with people. Although I keep my circle real tight, real close. I just hate how this bar is here sometimes. Like, I'm gonna have to put it to the side because this being in front of me is killing me. I wanna clap sometimes, you know? Not relatable. Anyways, so yeah. Anyways, so I just lose my chain of thought. So I'm trying to think of what I'm saying. Yeah. So having a place to come back to when your battery runs out is very important. Social battery is a thing. I mean, I know some of y'all out there can literally be with someone for their whole life, like friends, and never have an issue with that. Personally, I need my own space. I feel like your own space is just healing. And that kind of ties along with my other point of you don't have to be bothered ever, if you don't want to, if someone's trying to hang out with you, you can lie and say you have plans, or you don't have to lie, but you can don't lie. Just say that you're working, because you are, because like we said before, we're standing on business. Um, so that's my other thing. And then, okay, so the biggest thing, I'm sorry, I'm laying down right now. Okay. The biggest thing for me is the decor. I cannot share that, um, I cannot share that responsibility with someone because I have a specific, unless you have the same brain as me, which you don't. But yeah, so if you were to have the same brain as me, then we could be roommates because we could pick out the same furniture and decor. But since I don't have a roommate, I love that because I can pick out whatever I want. And yeah, I think it came out, I love my apartment so much. I think it came out amazing. Um, and I just have an eye for those things. I feel like if I had a roommate or if I had someone that I was sharing an apartment with, I would just have an issue with probably what they would want. No one would let me do it unless I had someone let me do it. But anyways, yeah, so I just loved decorating it. Fun fact, I literally bought everything um on, what is it called? Labor Day. So the Labor Day sales were going crazy. Um Wayfair was so good. I know they got canceled a while ago for like trafficking children in cabinets or something. I don't know if y'all saw that when it came out, but my cabinets came out beautiful with no children in them. So 5 stars from me. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about the decor. I think I've said what I needed to say, honestly. And that brings me to my next point. That really didn't bring me to my next point at all, but I want to bring up that although all of these great things are true, that I do get my own space, that I can, come back to my own space when my battery does run out, which is all great, and everything that I mentioned. But I'm not gonna lie if I say I do get lonely sometimes. Um, it's not that I'm like wow super lonely, but I feel like there are some times where I wish I had someone there, like cooking with me, or like, listening to music with me, or, just having that like moment together. But on the other hand, that's where the social battery comes in. And I don't know, I would really have to be soulmates with the person that I live with, whether they're my friend or not. Like, I don't know how I could, I don't know how I could do that personally. I don't know. Let me know if you guys could do that. Um, well, obviously can do it, but like what? I don't know. I just feel like I would have a lot of conflicts with people. I'm a Scorpio. It just, I don't know if we would get along, or even if we got along, like how long could I last? It's the real question. Um, but, but yeah, it definitely is a real thing. Living alone and getting lonely. I'm not gonna lie. I will never lie to you guys. This is called no filter necessary for a reason. And yeah, so I think we should maybe jump into the psychology of living alone and kind of what goes through people's heads um, when doing that, and how some people think living alone can be a luxury, which it is. I'm not gonna lie, but there definitely are downsides to it, like I mentioned before, especially to mental health, I would say. Um, yeah, for sure. I think self reliance is a big thing of living alone. Like I mentioned before, everything that has to do with your home, whether you live in a house, whether you live in an apartment, whether you live in a townhouse, everything you're responsible for. If you want to live in filth and dirt and unorganized, that's on you. That's on you to be ugly. But if you want to be organized and you want to be living your best life and, you know, I don't know, just living to your fullest potential when living alone. Like, it doesn't have to be a boring thing. It could be something that transforms you into your, most beautiful or authentic self. I think I've learned so much about myself living alone than when I didn't live alone or when I lived with my. I think the independence leads to, um, this place of control and a sense of control where not only in your home, but outside of your home, you're kind of feeling like the want to be dominant. I don't know if dominant's the right word, but just take control of the situations you're in. So if you're so used to being at home and being responsible for yourself and taking care of yourself, you're most likely to do that out in public. Um, it's just, I mean, it's with any habit that you have behind closed doors, you're most likely to present them in front of the doors. Um, a big part about living alone is that you go through everything alone. So even if you do have friends or family that you can count on to FaceTime or call or text, um, anything that happens in your life, you're going to go through it yourself. So it's important to know that before you decide to move into a place by yourself, because you have to know that you are able to bounce back from situations and you won't just hide in the corner on your couch with 6 blankets on you, eating Dominoes and a milkshake, which that sounds actually beautiful right now, but that can't be a reality. If you're gonna live alone, you have to be able to take responsibility for your actions and your emotions. If you're going through it, you need to make sure you talk to people. Some people don't even get to talking to people. Like I have, thank God, so many people that support me, and I have so many people that I can call and talk to. But there are people that don't have that. So imagine living alone, and you go through everything by yourself. I mean, I don't know. It's a lot to deal with, in my opinion. Um, but I think, like I said, it's the biggest part of moving in by yourself. You have to be able to move on and be able to continue your journey of where you see yourself and where you want to feel accomplished, where you are when you feel accomplished. You know, if you're letting your life outside your apartment or your home affect you inside your house, where is the peace? You know, like I don't think you will ever have a moment where you can just say everything's all right, everything's good, everything will work out if inside and out of your, I mean, my home is like where I can feel most at peace, that's where I can feel like I'm safe, I can, work through things. But you need to be able to walk out that door, say, Charles, you can do this. You know, you can accomplish this day. You can go to that meeting that you had, go to class, go to the airing, go pick up whatever you have to pick up, go on a walk, go to the gym, cook, do everything that you have to do, and still come back home with a clean, organized, fresh home that you're taking care of. Because if you can't take care of your home, how could you take care of yourself? I mean, it's just, I think your home represents you. First of all, also, how are you going to have people over? Let's just be real. How are you going to have people over when your house is looking a mess or dirty or ugly? Like, I'm not going to lie, obviously, that happened to me a couple of times, but it can't be a pattern. Because if you're not having people over, if your place is ugly, you're not having people over, then when you're socializing, you're just going to feel more lonely. So that's just my 2 cents on that part. Ooh, this is a good one. So, not relying on anybody for every decision that you make, which is a big thing. So, I am very indecisive. Like, that's. Sorry, wait. I am very indecisive. So, that's like a big thing for me. Living alone, wait, living alone makes it so much harder. I have no one to turn to say, oh, what should I make, chicken or salmon? Should I put more salt or should I put less salt? Or should I put more pepper? Should I put less pepper? There's just so much that like I want to like turn to someone. And I do FaceTime my friends. Like I'm definitely guilty of that. But I don't know. It's just like I don't know. I'm definitely guilty of that for sure. Um, I just need to be able to make decisions by myself and make decisions by myself and just be able to be decisive. And if you're living alone, you have to be able to know how to do that, you know? If you're living with other people, you always have someone to turn to and ask them. But if you're living by yourself, you have to just make that decision and be like, and be confident in it, you know? If you're not confident in your decision, how are you going to be confident in anything in life? And I can't sit here and say that I'm not indecisive, but I do make decisions alone because you have to. You have no one to turn to. So that is another really big thing about living alone. If you're already an indecisive person, before you move in by yourself, make sure you know how to change those behaviors, at least in your home, you know? Because if you don't make the decisive decision to say, I'm going to go home and clean or I'm going to go home and do laundry, because if I don't do it now, then I can't make that appointment later. Or if I make that appointment later, I won't be able to do it later. And then I'm going to be staying up and mess up my sleep schedule and this and that, you know? So you definitely want to be able to make decisions on your own. I think it's really important. One positive thing, and excuse me, one positive thing about living alone as well is facing these challenges alone enhances your problem solving skills times 10. If you are like I said, we were talking about before, if we're going through a lot and there's no one else there to help us go through it, then you have to face those challenges head on. And like we were talking in the last point, you have to face those challenges and be able to move through them. But while doing this, it builds your problem solving skills. I'm trying to think of an example of like something that I've had to do. Oh, so this is a great story for you guys. So I love to cook. I don't know if you guys know, but I love to cook. And I tend to have some mishaps when I cook. I cut myself a lot and burn myself a lot. And I don't know if it's me just not looking at the cutting board or looking at what I'm doing or not paying attention or what it is, but I've cut myself a lot, like I said. And they're like little cuts where like if I put a band-aid over, it's fine. But 4 months ago or 2 months ago, I was cutting a rotisserie chicken in half, cutting through the bone. And I don't know if I wasn't paying attention or what, but I slipped and I hit, like I cut this part like right next to, like not next to, and the end of my thumb. And it was deep and I've never experienced that before. And I could never be a doctor, first of all. I tell that to everybody. The sight of blood knocks me out. Literally, I could just pass out. And it makes me so nauseous. So it was like, ooh, like gushing blood. And it was so deep. I've never cut myself this much, like this deep. I know this is so graphic. I'm so sorry, but like, it was bad. I was about to start crying. I didn't cry, but I was about to start crying. I'm surprised I didn't. It was just crazy. It was just crazy, like a lot. And but I needed to put pressure on it. I didn't want to put a band-aid on because it would literally just bleed through. Like, there was no the band-aid had no stance on it whatsoever. So I was like, I don't know what to do. So I called my mother, and this is where the trying to solve problems by yourself comes in. In a second, I'll tell you at the end of the story why it helped me. So I call my mother and I'm like, what do I do? It's so deep. I'm freaking out. I'm getting nauseous. I'm about to pass out maybe. I'm not even joking. I felt like I was about to black out. So I sat down. I was holding a towel on it, just putting pressure on it. And I'm like, do I need to go to the hospital? Like, how many stitches do I need right now? Because it was just insane. I've had a traumatic moment with my mother, actually, which maybe we'll talk about on another episode. But we had a traumatic moment where, like, we were in a different country and she was bleeding a lot. So I was just, like, thinking about that. I was just, like, freaking out. Should I go to the hospital? Didn't end up going to the hospital. I just kept on holding it until it stopped bleeding, like, a lot. And then I put the antiseptic shit on and then put a Band-Aid on and whatever. But yeah, that was scary. I almost fainted. But anyways, so that was me not using my own problem solving skills and taking care of the situation by myself as an adult. The universe tested me not a month after, but just 2 weeks after, where I cut myself again. But it wasn't with a knife, it was with a screwdriver. And you might be wondering, how the fuck did you cut yourself with a screwdriver? I was I have my mother's camera. I've been using her camera, and just because the photos are bomb. It's a G7X, and I just have to buy myself one. I really have to get one. But the camera, it's just so good. If you know, you know. Anyways, so got. I don't know if you guys know, but at the end of a tripod, there is the screw, and it broke, like, the camera, I guess, broke the screw off inside the camera. And I was trying to, like, push it out, wedge it out, or not even what, I don't even know. I was trying to fix it. It didn't work. And it just ended up, I was pushing so hard on it, it just hit my hand. Went into, like, right here, you guys can probably see, there's, like, a scar right here. It went into my hand. It was so bad. It was deep, not as deep as before. But guess what? I didn't call anybody. I took care of it myself. It wasn't bleeding as much, but it was still bleeding. But I took the paper towel and, like, did that whole thing, whatever, again, covered it up. But at least I didn't feel like I was going to pass out. The other one, I felt like I was doing open heart surgery. I cut myself with a knife opening up rotisserie chicken, and it felt like open heart surgery. I can't explain it. Anyways, so another thing that, oh, I feel like I'm a little too close to this mic. Another thing that I would like to address is this is a clip for all social media. So let me look in the camera. Being uncomfortable is part of your growth. Say it with me. Being uncomfortable is part of your growth. If you are not uncomfortable at times, you will not grow. If you are always comfortable, why would you ever have to problem solve? Why would you ever have to feel stressed or deal with something or feel like something has to get done? You're comfortable all the time. You have to be uncomfortable for your own self-growth. So that is something that comes with being alone. Not being alone, living alone. So, yeah, I mean, that's just a quick thing. I think everybody really knows that. And if you don't know it, you know it now. And yeah, I just think it's important to be kind to yourself. Yes, I'm being harsh right now, but living alone is really hard. If you have those days that you need to just rest and not clean for once, or not do laundry, or not leave the house, have those days, but don't make it consistent, bitch, because we don't have time for that. No time. And if you need to call, if you need to phone a friend, or phone a family member, or phone your mother, because I do that all the time, you are allowed to. There's nothing bad with that. I call my mother all the time to ask her for help with little things, because mothers know best. They know everything. So, yeah, another thing I wanted to talk about is, I know I'm using this word lonely a lot, and loneliness, and you might be alone when you're living alone, and Alone, 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 lonely, lonely, lonely. I want to describe the difference between being alone and deciding to live in solitude. Sorry, not being alone. Being lonely and deciding to live in solitude. Being lonely is saying you feel like you're always alone, you're never talking to anybody. This is not the actual Webster definition, but this is how I know it. You don't see anybody, you're depressed, you're sad, you're just like not doing anything productive, and not standing on business and not taking responsibility for your actions. But choosing to live in solitude is different. I am the one who chooses to live in solitude. So I choose to live alone, but I love hanging out with friends. I love FaceTiming, FaceTiming them all the time and spilling the tea. We gotta always spill the tea. And yeah, so I think it's definitely important to stay connected with people, make plans, be outside. I go to the gym every day, if not 2 times a day. So I think that is very important. But yeah, being lonely is way different than deciding to live alone in solitary, in solitude. And it's also important to know that just because I decided to live alone doesn't mean that I don't get lonely, which I said before. But just to clarify, I can get lonely sometimes, but it's not that I would call myself a lonely person or an alone person. Um, yeah, because I love my alone time. During my alone time, I get to do the things I love, whether it's take a bath or do my skincare routine or do a face mask or cook, extra long. I've been making, oh my God, side note, I've been making the best pizzas recently. So I'm like trying to get really skinny, not really skinny, but I'm trying to lose weight. Um, I've been losing weight for a long time. That's gonna be another episode. Um, I've lost 50 pounds so far, and I'm still on that journey. So, but anyways, so one of the things I've been making is mozzarella and almond flour pizza. So it's literally melted mozzarella with almond flour mixed up. It turns into dough, and a little bit of olive oil, and you could put it in the oven, and it's literally a whole pizza. And you just put what you regularly put on a pizza. I love it. But anyways, so that's my alone time that I really enjoy. This is, I feel like, gonna be alone time I really enjoy. Um, doing these videos. I feel like this is so personal, and they're just gonna get better by the episode. I have so many guests. I'm so excited for you guys to hear from them. They're just like the top of their industries. So I'm super excited. But anyways, so yeah, I love doing my own things. I love watching Suits. That's one of my favorite shows. Shout out Suits fans. Um, Miss Markle, I miss you on season 8. But anyways, so yeah, I also love FaceTiming friends. Like I said, I'll literally be cooking, FaceTiming friends. I love having that moment, um, because it's so important to stay connected with people that don't live near you, or even remotely near you. Like you can't even train to them, you know. Um, so because I have family in Florida and I have family different places, and it's important to stay connected, like I said. But yeah, so I want to circle back to this is my next thing that I wrote down. I want to circle back to the the decor of it all, the choosing your own what goes in your space, and sort of building your personal peaceful sanctuary when you live alone. Um, there's a lot of aspects that go with that. Ever since moving in, I've made sure to make my place feel like home. During the holidays, I decorate. During Halloween, I decorated. I had like little bats all over. Um, during Valentine's Day, I have these hearts that I want to put up here in my apartment. I want to you know, like decorate all of it. Even though I don't have a Valentine, but we manifesting out here. But yeah, I don't know if I'll like fully decorate, but a little bit for it. But I just love decorating for different holidays, and I like making this place my own. Like I think you walk into it and it's like this is Charles. for sure. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's just super cozy. And yeah, I think it's just important to make your decor beautiful and stand out and make it your own, like I said. A lot of like my tips and what's in for me right now is like comfy fabric, um, just like a lot of neutrals, but pops of colors here and there. I definitely want, for this set in particular, I want to put some things in the background. Like, I'm gonna definitely make it super cute. But yeah, a lot of natural patterns I love. Like, I love different natural, like, grooves and natural, like, wood and marble and that, like, sort of thing. Glass, I just love, like, different mediums. Um, but I definitely need more stuff on my walls for sure. But yeah, I think people, like, you either love decorating or you hate it, or like designing, like home decor. Like, you either love it or you hate it. And I love it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. I love it. It's like the one thing, or like one of the few things that you could make your own and make it special. So the next thing, I feel like this is ASMR here real quick. Um, but anyways, so as I talked before, a little bit on mental health, I wanted to bring it up again because it's a very important topic, especially living alone, like I said. Um, I think it definitely has an effect on your mental health living alone. I've mentioned, like, in this video of the challenges and how complicated it could be and how you have to really take care of yourself and make sure you're holding yourself accountable because it's really important. If you don't hold yourself accountable, like I said, you're going to have an ugly apartment, disorganized, which makes you ugly, like I said, and dirty, which also ugly. Just a bunch of red flags. It's 2024. We are all green flags. Green flags all the way. You do not. So yeah. But I think some of the things that I said I mentioned before, but just to mention them again, real quick, some of the things that help me with keeping my mental health afloat are getting out of the house. That's one thing. Going on walks, seeing friends, going to friends' places. I like to go out here and there. I haven't, you know, I love, okay, okay, guys. My favorite thing to do, and tell me this is not, I don't know if I'm too close to the mic, but tell me this is not your favorite thing to do. And if it isn't, I challenge you to do it. Tag me if you dare. Go to a nice restaurant, treat yourself when you get paid this this week when you get paid. Go to a nice restaurant, sit at the bar because the bar is always more of a vibe. You can meet people. Go to the bar, order a drink, start with the drink. Finish the drink. We go slow so you can like have a whole moment there. Finish the drink, order appetizer, order entree, have a whole meal there. Talk with the one on the right, talk with the one on the left, flirt a little bit if you're feeling it, and get into it. It's the best experience for me. I love taking myself out on a date. It is so good for you. If someone's not going to do it for you, then do it for yourself. And even honestly, I went out the other night. My dad was in town and we sat at the bar and we met this woman that was next to us. She had a full husband and she was just, he went to go see the dudes or the bros or the, whatever you call them. And she was at the bar getting a drink, having a full dinner at a nice restaurant, bougie, having the time of her life, drink in hand, taking selfies. What's better than that? Solo dates are the thing in 2024. 2024 equals solo dates. That's all I'm saying. So that's a few things. Um, I love leaving the windows open for fresh air. This is so random, but it's not at the same time. Like, it's honestly just a if you know, you know. If you know, you know. Like, I love leaving the windows open just to feel like I'm outside when I'm not. Like, cooking with the windows open. Ugh. That's just like the most beautiful experience. I've said a lot of things are beautiful experiences right now, but it's just nice to like have the breeze and SZA going on, maybe a little Brent Faiyaz. Shout out SZA, my mother, I love you. But yeah, just have a bunch of TLC nights. The TLC nights are very important. If you don't know what TLC means, tender, loving care. Don't confuse it with KFC. But if y'all live alone or don't, but feel like your mental health has been suffering, please make sure to find help. I just want to clarify that. Um, find someone to talk to. It's never too late. There's always someone that wants to hear. Trust me, even if you think they don't want to hear, they do want to hear. I promise you. Um, it's good to talk to someone. So please do that. Please. Um, and yeah, so I just think overall that when living alone, it's really important to stand on business, take responsibility for your actions, for things that you have to get done, have a schedule, maybe have a calendar, maybe have a to-do list, maybe have a whiteboard. Those are just a bunch of different ideas that you could have to keep yourself on track so you're not missing out on things that you have to get done. Because you never want to get to that weekend and be like, oh, I want this outfit. Oh, wait, it's in the laundry. I didn't do laundry. I know you did that before. So don't do it now. This is your moment. I believe in you. And yeah, so if you're thinking about taking the step, the big leap into moving in by yourself, I dare you to do it. You will have the time of your life. And if it's hard at the beginning or if it's hard ever in the journey, just know it will get better. And have a positive attitude because words mean everything. So if you're not positive about the situation and you're not going into it saying that this is going to be the time of your life, then you won't have the time of your life. I promise you, you will learn so much about yourself and you will grow so much. And I just say, do it. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. You will find your people. And if you want to make friends and go out there, you will. You will. Um, yeah. And I don't know. Again, I want to emphasize just be kind to yourself. Living alone is very hard. And you don't have those people to turn to and work through it or ask questions or get advice or do this or do that. Turn to yourself. I'm here to tell you, turn to yourself. You are your biggest fan. You believe in yourself the most, whether you believe in yourself now or you will believe in yourself later on in life. It will happen. You just have to stay positive. You can't, no negative energy. Manifestation is real. I'll talk about that in another episode. My vision board is literally coming to life. Look at me podcasting right now. Oh my God. Let me show you. I'm not going to give it all away right now, but at the bottom of my screen on my iPad right now, if you zoom in, there's this mic in front of a window. I'm just saying, and there's windows right here. I manifested everything. I've manifested everything. Clear skin, except a little bit's going on right now with my skin, but I've been in the gym. I've been doing all of that. And so yeah, manifestation is real. Your words are real. Everything you say and put out into the world comes back to you. Everything matters. And you need to know all of that before moving in. Because if you're not grown at least a little bit before moving in by yourself, you will never grow into what your full potential is. So, yeah. Um, but yeah, that's mostly everything I have for um, this episode. I had a great time with you guys. I'm so glad I finally was able to film and record this first podcast. I've been wanting to do it for like forever, literally forever. And I'm kind of glad that this was the first episode because it, hits home for me. I was always scared of, taking the leap and actually moving in by myself, but it has been the best thing for me ever. I've grown so much, and like I said, I dare you to do it too. I want to thank you guys all for listening today and tuning in to the No Filter Necessary podcast. I have so much planned coming up soon. You guys are not ready for it whatsoever. Um, all of my episodes will be streaming on Sundays, so get ready for that. And yeah, I'm so excited to be sharing some of my life lessons and things that I've gone through, and things I've learned from, and the lessons that I took out of everything that I've been through. Um, there's so much more I want to share with you guys, and I wish I could tell you everything about myself on this first episode, but obviously I can't fit it in. But yeah, and I have some great guests coming up. Again, top of their industry. And yeah, I'm just so excited to sit down, and this is only the beginning of the journey. And I'm excited to grow this community because although we have no filter, we are a supportive community. So, whatever is on your mind, please let me know. I hope you guys liked this first episode, and I hope to see you next Sunday. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.